Hi friends, I'm here in the Western Arctic with my colleague Tim Fullman. He's the senior ecologist at the Wilderness Society. We are in one of America's last wildest places. And Tim, you have spent years studying the Tishekpuk caribou herd. What makes this place different and special for that herd? Why that herd this place?
Right. The Tishekpuk herd is unique for a lot of reasons, but partly because of where they spend the winter. Most caribou herds, they migrate south to the mountains to spend the winter, but the majority of the Tishekpuk herd stay up on the flat coastal plain tundra all winter long in this place in the Western Arctic.
So Tim, your latest study followed 200 caribou over 17 years. What's the biggest takeaway?
What we found is that the herd is predictable, but individuals, they aren't. See, the herd has been using the same 4 wintering areas for about 3 decades or longer. And yet individuals vary up where they go from winter to winter. No 2 winters are exactly alike, and the caribou respond to that, and they go to different places in response to changing environmental conditions.
If you could pick a thing, what do you wish that people really understood about this place and about how caribou need and use this place?
So caribou survive in one of the harshest landscapes that we have in this country by being able to move. They migrate hundreds of miles. They respond to changing conditions, and they're able to do all that because they have intact landscapes that they're able to move across. They can get where they need to be when they need to be there. And so it really reinforces the importance of protecting their ability to have the freedom to roam across those areas.
And what happens if it gets all bifurcated, all cut up?
Caribou don't love infrastructure. They change their behavior. They're not able to get places. And that can affect their ability to survive and to have healthy caribou calves. So it can threaten future generations of caribou.
What does that mean for the people who live here?
So for the caribou, it can have strong consequences. I was involved in a study that came out earlier this year, which found that caribou that aren't able to make it across one mining road died at a much higher rate than other caribou, potentially threatening the overall population. And that matters for people that rely on caribou.
When I first started at TWS, somebody said to me, we have 100 years of caribou data. And I said, what? And tell our viewers why that is. It's amazing.
It is really inspiring. You know, our foundational leaders, Olaus and Marty Muri, were crossing these landscapes 100 years ago, back in the 1920s, studying caribou. And since then, we are continuing in that legacy.
So one of the things I really appreciate about Tim's research is it reminds us that really good science helps us make really good decisions, so that we ensure that these caribou herds, which have been here for time immemorial, will continue for future generations, that people will live in and among and off of these beautiful animals.